And I've been saying that for a while. If you look at those numbers from the how many people are infected and stuff, and you think that this infection takes 2, maybe 3 weeks to show, whatever we do now, it's probably too late, meaning 50% or more probably are infected. I would guess. I read that in the Stern, German magazine of a virologist, is it? Virologist who works in New York at the moment. He says probably you have 50 to 70% infected. So actually, what we can do right now is just wait and hope that we get to the point where the curve flattens. But yeah, I think if all these measures we're taking are still taking any effect, or if it's just we have to wait. This is the world most famous website, John Hopkins. And if I compare that, I can see that, we have most cases in China went down, and in Italy, still the same. And you can click on active cases below the map. I'll do that in just a second. And you see that the absolute center is in Europe at the moment. We're coping. And if you want to just take a look, it's interesting. This is another website I found. I'm not sure how correct the numbers are, but let's believe them a second. And we can see here that China has leveled out. You see the new cases on the logarithmic scale, flat line. They're basically not, there are no new cases, basically like 10 or something. If you compare that, this is China. If you compare it to, say, Italy, which is probably the worst in Europe at the moment, they have a really high death rate. Almost, you see the total cases are still going up, but if you click on the logarithmic scale, it's hopeful they're just before the point. It gets like flat. And I think Italy is over it. We'll see that in the next days. And this is us, Germany, really low death rate compared. And you can see that on the logarithmic scale, we are still climbing, exponential, but probably reaching the peak of Italy in like 3 to 7 days. So what does this mean? I'm not a scientist. I'm just a politics teacher, but I can look at the numbers. And the numbers tell me that Italy is probably at the peak. They did the lockdown. You can only go out for certain reasons. Most people stay home most of the day. And I'm sure if we do that in Germany, we will see the same thing as we see in Italy, like the flattening of the curve on the logarithmic scale. And then in the end, like in China, it will just run through for 2 weeks and then it'll be fine. And as an optimist, at the moment, that is my preferred scenario. This is where we land. This is it's going to be fine. Should we do the lockdown? Should we pass a law that makes people stay home? I'm not too sure. I'm not sure if it's not already too late. Italy did that on March 10 days ago. We didn't do anything yet. But if you ask me, we'll do the lockdown. On Sunday, Merkel is going to talk to the chiefs of the states. And I think the lock is done on Monday for at least 2 weeks, maybe even 4 weeks, who knows. But the question is, if it isn't through, if we don't have that many cases already and people infected, that it won't slow it down because it's already out. It has an incubation period of 15 days. So it's probably more or less over no matter what we do. But in my opinion, even if we do nothing, we'll be on that curve like Italy and we'll be fine. Let's hope it.